Hey, I'm Naresh. In today's topic, I'm going to talk about new features in 9.2 and also I'll give introduction to Sitecore Content Hub. So that's about me. So I'm having overall 13 plus years of experience completely into Microsoft technologies. And from last 6+ years, I've been working with Sitecore. And currently I'm working with horizontal integration as a Sitecore architect in Dubai office. So let's get started with the presentation. Uh, so Sitecore, being global leader in digital marketing software, it always ensures to release the product updates with the latest features and also stabilizes previous releases. So for Sitecore developers, it's always necessary for them to be up to date with the latest release. And also for non-technical people like marketers, it's also necessary for them and good to know about what Sitecore is offering in the latest feature. So let's see what are the new features in today's presentation. So before deep diving into the new features of Sitecore 9.2, let's see what are the prerequisites for Sitecore 9.2 installation. So Sitecore 9.2 supports OS Windows 10, Windows Server 2019 and 2016, and it supports databases SQL Server 2016, SP2, and 2017. And if you are using MongoDB Server for XDB, it requires 4.0.5. And IIS 10 is the only one it supports. And .NET Framework 4.7.1 or 4.7.2 you can use. And for Sitecore Identity Server, it requires .NET Core 2.1.7. And Solar in 9.2, it supports only Solar 7.5 or later. So earlier versions it will not support. And Sitecore installation framework 2.1.0 is required for this. Okay. So now let's see what is the first improvement has been done as part of 9.2. So making Sitecore quicker and easier to install. So developers who have worked before Sitecore 9, like 8 and the earlier versions, we have an installer for easily installing the Sitecore. But with the Sitecore 9 introduction, the installation process has become a little complicated, that it requires to execute PowerShell scripts using SIF manually. So as it's been 2 years now, community has become well versed with installing the Sitecore 9 and 9.1. But we always dream about the wizard or installer. If we have it, we can easily install Sitecore. So for that issue, Sitecore has introduced a Sitecore install assistant as part of 9.2. So Cyclone install assistant, what it is, it's a GUI, a graphical user interface based wizard to install the Sitecore. So it requires Solar 7.5 URL to be specified while you are using the Sitecore install assistant. So if you are wondering, like, in your local, if you are not going to use Solar and you are planning to use Azure, and if you wanted to use Sitecore install assistant, you can put some Solar URL for the installation. And once the installation is done, then you can go and update the Solar URL with the Azure. So I have captured few screenshot here, how you can download and install the Sitecore install assistant. So here you can see graphical setup package for XP single. So this will be available on the Sitecore downloads page of 9.2 version. You can download it here. And once you download and extract the zip file, you can find out setup.exe. So you can run it as an administrator. And it will ask you to install the prerequisites like Sitecore install framework or Windows Server prerequisites. So if you are doing for the first time, then it's recommended to install these two. And if you are doing subsequent installing 9.2 or other versions, the later versions, using Sitecore install assistant, then you can skip it. So it requires to input few details like Sitecore application name, SQL Server credentials, and the Solar URL, like I said, and finally it displays the all the summary which you have inputted. And you can click next and done. The installation will be done. So that's very quick and easy process for installing the Sitecore 9.2. Okay. So moving on to next improvement. Uh, which active pages have personalization. So while talking about, before talking about it, let's understand a scenario that if you are having hundreds of page items in your site code content tree, and out of it only 10 to 20% of pages having personalization. And if you have been asked to go and update a couple of personalization rules on one or two pages, personalized pages, then it will be tedious and time taking to navigate to those personalized pages, especially if they are in third level or fourth level. Okay, so it's time taking. So for that issue, Sitecore has introduced active personalization dashboard, which is a brand new feature in 9.2. So what is it? So it displays all the personalized pages at one place, like a dashboard. So I'll demonstrate shortly in action this. So this dashboard displays the page name, which is having the personalization, and the URL on the page. You can click on the page and navigate to experience editor mode of that page. And the site name, it displays, in case of multi-site scenario, it displays the pages from all the sites. So you can find out from which site this page is coming from. And the number of personalized experiences on the page, like how many personalized rules or experiences you have configured on that page. And it also displays how many components have been personalized on that page. And if you have set up any multivariate testing, it will display those results. And once you select this page here, it displays on the right side different personalizations, how this is going to execute. So let's see this in action. So to demonstrate this, I have created a simple page with personalization rules. So when you come for the first time, the page looks like this. And if the request coming from a different country like UK, the same page will be personalized like this. And if the request is coming from a different country like UAE, it will be displayed like this. It will be personalized, right? So I have basically configured three personalization rules here. So now if I go to the active personalization dashboard, I'll show you like, how this will be displayed over there. So to navigate to active personalization dashboard, you have to click on this experience optimization. And this is here. So it displays all the personalized pages like this. And I'm going to click on my page, which I created here. And there you go. So you can see all the personalized experiences which I have set up here. So this is a brand new feature as part of 9.2 introduced, and this will be very helpful for the people or marketers who are working with personalization in their day-to-day job. Okay. So let's move on to the next improvement. Yeah, better indexing in search. So search is definitely a vital functionality for any application, and also search is used by Sitecore internally for its internal functionalities, right? So let's see what has been done as part of search in 9.2. Using search is deprecated in 9.2. Okay, so you can see that in the configurations, using is deprecated. Uh, you can still find out the Lucene related configurations under app config folder, but they are deprecated, and if you're you should not supposed to use that. And also if you are planning to upgrade to the latest like 9.2 version, and if your current system is using Lucene, then it's time to plan for choosing either Solar or Azure. So leucine will be completely removed in the next major release. So the next one is a new indexing role has been introduced along in the 9.2. So what is this indexing role? So it makes the server, whichever is configured with indexing role, to index the content. So how is it useful? So if you take a scenario of a multi-CD environment, like you're having like three CD servers, let's take three CD environment. So you don't need to make every server to index the content, right? So you can make only one of them to index the content in case of having like Solar or Azure, because Solar or Azure will have the content and other CD servers can consume or retrieve the content from that Solar or Azure, right? So in case of three CD servers, you can make one of the servers to index the content, and other servers you can make them like non-indexing the content by using these roles. So you can just configure the role on the CD server by using a comma like indexing, and then that server will start indexing the content. So this will reduce the load of indexing on other CD servers. So the next one is better control of field indexing in Azure Search. So the developers who have worked with Azure Search would have come across this 1,000 field limit issue with Azure Search. So here Sitecore had provided a solution for it, but not a complete fix for it. So if you see in the search configurations, there will be a config like include all fields as true in the default configuration, search default configuration. But in 9.2, this include all fields will be set as false. So, and also it defines a predefined set of fields. So it will not index all the fields which are there out of the box. If you wanted to index any field, that you need to configure in that list. So this has been done only with the Azure Search default configuration. You can find that. Okay. So the next one is serialization with better format, the next improvement. So what is serialization? So serialization is a process of converting Sitecore items into the physical files. And once you have the physical files, you can store them in the repository and move between different environments, and you can again deserialize back to Sitecore items. So this process is being supported by Sitecore since version 6. But in Sitecore 9.2, it started supporting a new format, YAML. What is YAML? YAML is abbreviated as yet another markup language. So why Sitecore started supporting YAML? Because we already have a type like to serialize the content items to physical files. So YAML nowadays, like major serialization process, they are using the YAML format. For instance, if you take Rainbow serialization, which is being used by Unicorn, the Rainbow serialization also uses the YAML format. It's kind of JSON structure and it's more human readable and now getting more popularity. That's why like Sitecore also started providing option for using YAML. And also note that like in the configuration, you can find serialization type default is the one currently, and YAML is option. You can choose that here. But in the next major release, the default one will be completely deprecated and YAML will be made as the default serialization type. And also in 9.2, you can find a new serialization config under cms.core folder. You can find that under the app config folder. Okay. Uh, the next improvement, more stable and filters out the fake traffic. So robots detection. So Sitecore 9.2 has improved the process of identifying malicious bots. So what is bot? Bot is a software which executes the task repeatedly in an automated manner. So there will be good and bad bots will be there. Like bad bots are the culprits which will cause the fake traffic and will cause the trouble to the websites. So the process of identifying these bots is already there in place, but whenever Sitecore identifies the current user as a bot, the system or application used to get restart. So in 9.2, they have improved that process of identifying bots. Sitecore is already having a 51 degrees device detection database. So this is used for identifying the devices from where the user requests are coming from. So using this device detection database, Sitecore has improved this bots detection process, right? So whenever Sitecore identifies the user as a bot, it keeps those details into this device detection database. Okay. And also there were nearly like 30 plus personalization rules were getting crashed whenever they identify user as a bot. So they have improved these personalization rules in order to not to get crashed when the user is identified as bot. Improved analytics to filter out bots traffic. Fine. So as part of first point here, we have seen that Sitecore is going to identify the user and will keep those details into the 51 degrees device detection database. Fine. But still the analytics reporting, it will report that fake transactions, right? Whatever the activities happen. So now the analytics reporting also has been improved to filter out that fake traffic by using the details from the bot detail from the device detection database. So moving on, tracker improvements. So what is tracker? So the tracker here is analytics tracker, which is responsible for tracking the user activities on the website. And those data will be kept in the session temporarily. And once the session gets expired, like when user moves away from the website, browser gets closed, that data from the session will be moved to the XDB and stored over there through XConnect. So these are responsible of this analytics tracker, this process. So as part of this process, analytics tracker makes multiple requests to XDB through XConnect. So in 9.2, the process of this making calls to the XConnect has been improved by making a batch request. So it reduced the number of requests happening to the XDB through XConnect. And other improvement has been done is now you can configure a particular server dedicatedly for handling the session expiration process. So if you have large enterprise applications where you have like many multi-sites and different geos it's having, and then you have like a lot of users coming onto the website, then their activities will be kept in the session, and session will get more heavy. So in those kind of scenarios, you can make a particular server as a dedicated server for handling this session expiration process. This will reduce the load on CD servers and will improve the performance. So the next improvement. So JSS, SXA, and forms work seamlessly together. So JSS is a complete SDK provided by Sitecore for JavaScript developers to build the full-fledged applications using Sitecore and modern JavaScript libraries like Angular or React.js. Okay, so now JSS 12 version has been released with 9.2 that time. So now JSS integrates with SXA and supports the multi-site capabilities which are available in SXA. Still, the drag and drop functionalities of SXA are not supported by JSS. The next one is now JSS now fully supports the Sitecore forms. So how it is being done is like JSS now providing a special resolver for forms, which enables the layout service to send the complete serialization data. So the next one, Sitecore forms also has been improved here. Sitecore forms was introduced in Sitecore version 9. So in earlier versions like Cyclone 9 and 9.1, whenever you wanted to submit a when you submit a form and if you wanted to send an email, the developers need to write a custom code for it. But in 9.2, out of the box functionality is available for triggering the emails. Okay. So the next improvement is making XDB as GDPR compliant. So what is XDB? XDB is the experience database which holds the analytics data. And what is GDPR? GDPR is General Data Protection Regulation. This is a law introduced by Europe last year, that's in May 2018, to allow its citizens, European citizens, to have complete control on their personal data. So as part of this law, European citizens can claim the businesses to remove their personal data from their databases after the usage. If businesses keeps the personal data of them, then it's data breach and they are liable. So what has been done for it in 9.2? So in 9.2, a new API has been introduced to purge data within XDB. So you can see it here, client.delete contact. This is a new API which has been introduced in 9.2. So using this, you can delete the contact details. Earlier versions, there is another method, execute writes to be forgotten. That method makes the contacts as anonymous, but still the data will be residing in the database. So with this new API, you can delete the or purge the data within the XDB. So as you are going to delete the data from XDB, it will make you can make the XDB as GDPR compliant or any other data protection laws if you wanted to support, then this is the way you can delete the data from XDB. So as the data you are deleting from the XDB, the size of the XDB will get reduced, right? And as the data base size gets reduced in the cloud platform like Azure, the cost also will get reduced. So the database size, as it's going to be reduced, it will improve the rebuild time. It will be reduced, the performance will be better. So the next one is integration with Sitecore Content Hub. So as part of this, I will talk about the Sitecore Content Hub. So what is Sitecore Content Hub? Is it a separate module, another Sitecore module, or a system? What it is? Let's see those details now. So in a nutshell, Sitecore Content Hub is a system, single system, which provides platform for creating content end to end. Okay. So Sitecore Content Hub was earlier called as Marketing Content Hub, and this was from another company called Style Labs. Last year, that's in November 2018, Sitecore acquired Style Labs and announced the Sitecore Content Hub to empower its clients with single content creation system. So you will be thinking like, we have already CMS available for creating the content. Why do we need the Sitecore Content Hub in that case? Good question. So basically, in the large entire enterprise applications, where they will be having a lot of content like blogs, or if you take real estate, the details or articles. So they will not wait for the CMS implementation to be completed. Okay, so the business owners, they will have a team as a content authors, and they will start creating the content using some third-party sources like Google Docs or any other third-party systems, or they will use Google Word documents or some external sources, and they will start setting up the content over there using the data model. So once the data is set up over there and on CMS is available for content entry, then they will take the content whichever they have created in other sources, they'll repopulate into the CMS. So this process is tedious and error prone because they are doing duplicate effort, right? So because of that, Sitecore Content Hub comes in picture, where you can manage the content and integrate with Sitecore. So before going into further details of the Sitecore Content Hub, let's understand what is content crisis. So content crisis is unable to deliver the right content to right people on right time through the right channels. So why is this happening? This is happening because of the lack of collaboration between the content writers, and because of that, like they cannot reuse the content, and they are recreating the content, which is ending up in the duplicate content. Right. So I'll give a statistic here. As per McKinsey survey, 20% of marketers' time uh, going in finding the content. So they're spending their 20% of time on finding the content in different sources, like where the content can be there in the Dropbox or some external hard disks or somewhere in the emails. So this is literally 1 day in a week they're spending on that. So if they have one single system available where they can create the content, and they can collaborate, and they can reuse the content. So that's where the Sitecore Content Hub comes in picture. Okay. So Sitecore Content Hub has basically four modules. The first one is digital asset management. The second one is product information management, and content marketing platform. And the last one is marketing resource management, MRM. So we will see each one what it is. So Sitecore digital asset management, as its name says, it is used for managing the assets, be it audio, video, or any image, or any other drawings. You can keep all of those assets into the digital asset management system. Uh, it is very much performance oriented, where you can easily search and find the assets, and it's also having the machine learning built in. uh, for example, if you are uploading a picture of a chair, it's machine learning which is there. It automatically detects that asset as a chair or a table, whatever asset you are going to upload, and then it will tag automatically using the machine learning. And it also has another wonderful feature, that DRM, digital rights management. So if you have Mahendra Singh Dhoni or David Beckham, who is campaigning for a product in a different country, like if they are campaigning for US for the month October 1st to 31st, and if any other content author try to use that asset for a different geo like India or Dubai for a different month, then it will not allow. This DRM will be there and it will stop that content writer to use that asset. This will save from support the copyright issues. So basically, digital asset management is useful for managing the assets with its features of machine learning and DRM. So the next one is Sitecore content marketing platform. So CMP, content marketing platform, is a system which will be useful for planning the content. You can create the content, you can organize and distribute the content. It also has workflows in place. So one stakeholder can create the content and it can be sent for review. So the content creation process can be leverage this workflow process, and also it has a dashboard and you can see the content creation progress using that. So basically you can use the CMP for content creation by using the assets from the DAM. So you can see here Sitecore DAM and CMP with the XP, how it looks in this picture. So here Sitecore DAM and Sitecore CMP, these two will be used for content creation, and they will be integrated with the Sitecore XP. And this XP is a distributed platform, the CMS, so it will distribute the content using multi-sites campaigns in a personalized manner to different channels. Okay. The next one is Sitecore Marketing Resource Management. Okay, we have a DAM and a CMP for creating the content. Good. Now, if we also have some management tool available for managing this content creation process, so that's where this marketing resource management comes in picture, which is part of Sitecore Content Hub. So it is a system which aligns people, process, and technology to support marketing activities. So using the MRM, business owners can define and structure the projects, and they can assign that to different stakeholders. So the stakeholders can come and participate in the job, doing their jobs, like they can come and create the content, or PMs, project managers also can come into the marketing resource management. They can log in into the system and they can utilize the tools related to the project management, and then they can assign tasks to different stakeholders, that this guy has to create the content or the other one has to approve the content. So all that activities PM can do using the MRM within the Sitecore Content Hub. Right. And also business owners can allocate the budget for the project, and they can see in the dashboard how the project, I mean, the project is going on and how the budget is being spent on the project. So like I said, that's the dashboard of reports available to view the marketing work progress and the budget spent. So the next one is Sitecore Product Content Management, which is also part of Sitecore Content Hub. So in e-commerce applications, you will be maintaining product details in a different system like PIM or ERP, right? So this PCM, Product Content Management, you can integrate this with those external sources like ERP or PIM, and then you can use this product assets or the details to create the content more meaningfully. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel, like if the PIM, the product details already in the different source, you don't need to create again those assets, upload in the Sitecore Content Hub, and you duplicate that product details. By integrating PCM with those third-party sources of the product details, you can create more meaningful content. And also it gives a complete view how the product assets are being used in campaigns or any other commerce websites. So this PCM will be useful for holding and managing this product related content. So we can see here as a big picture how it looks with all the three together, like Sitecore Content Hub, Sitecore Experience Platform, and Sitecore Experience Commerce. So this Sitecore Content Hub, which is on the left side, has like CMP, DAM, and MRM. So using all these things, you can create the content by maintaining a separate project in the Sitecore Content Hub. And this will be integrated with Sitecore Experience Platform. And Sitecore Experience Platform, using its features like omni-channel experiences, multi-sites, campaigns, it will distribute the content to the end users. And in case of e-commerce applications, this content can be useful for driving the conversions, which will generate the business value. So this is the big picture how it looks with the Sitecore Content Hub in place. So this Sitecore Content Hub will be very much helpful for like large enterprise applications, like I said, which are having like a lot of multi-sites and which is having like huge content. So they don't need to wait till the CMS implementation going to be completed. They can create the content separately, organize it using the MRM, and in case of product e-commerce, they can also integrate with product details. They can create all the product content related, content related to the product over there, and then they can distribute that content through the experience platform to the end users. Okay. So moving on. So till now we have seen what is Content Hub, right? So what it is and what are the modules it has. And now in 9.2, what has been done for it? So as part of 9.2, first time Sitecore started integrating with the Sitecore Content Hub. So Sitecore provided two connectors, Sitecore Connect for Sitecore DAM and Sitecore Connect for Sitecore CMP. So earlier there were plugins available from Style Labs to connect to Sitecore. Style Lab plugins were there, but now as Sitecore is owning now, Sitecore started providing connectors to integrate with the Sitecore Content Hub. Okay. So with that, like I have covered major features of the 9.2, and also I've covered the Sitecore Content Hub. But there are a few more improvements have been in 9.2, which I wanted to quickly talk about them. So identity service has been improved in 9.2. So identity service actually introduced in 9.1 to handle the authentication of the request separately. So as part of 9.2, persistent storage of users has been introduced. With that, like whenever identity service gets restarted, the users who are all logged in, they're persistent and they will not be logged out. So this has been done as part of 9.2. And the other thing is on Sitecore Azure, you don't find differences between log files. So we don't have like a search log or publishing log, because all the log appenders are configured the same. So you will be having, say, a single log file over there. You can't differentiate between search and publish logs. So the next one is Redis session state provider now uses the latest one stack exchange.redis 2.0 version. So what is Redis session state? It is a session state provider which will use the Redis cache to store the session in place of inproc or SQL Server. So it will use a Redis cache to store the session data. The next one is the Sitecore telemetry metrics. So Sitecore from 9.2 onwards, Sitecore is going to track the telemetry metrics of the website, like general hardware or software information, how many visits happening to the website, what is the product version. So this is as per the licensing license. So Sitecore will analyze these details, and they will get back to the clients with the improvements what to be done based on the tracked analytics. And the next one is not a technical one. I just want to specify here that, like with 9.2 introduction, e-learning, Sitecore e-learning also introduced many new courses. There are courses for JSS, SXA, Helix Principles. So whoever are interested can register in the e-learning, and then they can take those courses. And also, like, there are many defects have also been fixed as part of this 9.2 release, making it more stable. So with that, I have covered the features and Sitecore Content Hub and a few others which have been improved. Let's quickly recap what we have seen till now. So the first one, we have seen Sitecore Install Assistant. So Sitecore Install Assistant is a GUI based wizard which will make Sitecore installation is easy, and you can install very quickly. It requires a Solar URL to be inputted. You need to make note of that. And also it has internally some, when you extract this SIA, you can find some JSON files under the Sitecore Install Assistant. You can play with them, those files. So the next one we have seen is the active personalization dashboard. So this is a dashboard which provides a view of all the personalized pages from different multi-sites at one place. It also shows pages and multi-site site name details, and then the personalized experiences, how it is going to be rendered on that page. So you can navigate to active personalization dashboard by using the experience optimization. So next we have seen the search improvements. So as part of it, we have seen that Luzen is deprecated in 9.2, and there is a new indexing role has been introduced, which will make the servers to index the content if it has been configured with the indexing role. And then we have seen a solution from Sitecore for the Azure search 1,000 fields limit issue. This is not a fix for it, but definitely a welcoming solution from Sitecore for it. So the next one, we have seen serialization with YAML format. YAML is like getting more popularity, and many serialization processors are using this YAML format. That is the reason now Sitecore also started supporting the YAML, and in the next major release, YAML will be the default one, and the current default one will be deprecated. Then we have seen the robots detection. So Sitecore improved the process of identifying the birds by using 51 degrees device detection database. And tracker improvements like analytics tracker also has been improved by making the request to the XConnect as batch request. And also you can make a server as dedicated to handle the session expiration activities. Then we have seen JSS and Sitecore Forms enhancements. Like now JSS started supporting the SXA multi-site capabilities. Still drag and drop functionalities which are there in the SXA are not supported by JSS. And then JSS also supports Sitecore Forms fully by providing a special resolver for the forms component. And Sitecore Forms also improved by providing out-of-the-box functionality to send emails on submitting the forms. Then we have seen Xtp Data Purging. So in 9.2, there is a new API has been introduced, delete contact. Using that, you can delete the contacts from XTP. Thus, you can make XTP as GDPR compliant. and you can reduce the database size, and you can even plan for deleting the contacts in a scenario like if the contacts are not active for last 2 years, then you can schedule it to delete them. So the next one, the big thing we have seen, Sitecore Content Hub integration. So Sitecore Content Hub is a now center for content creation. Um, so we have also seen the content crisis, what it is, and then what Sitecore is offering. It has mainly four modules: Sitecore DAM, Digital Asset Management, and Sitecore CMP, Content Marketing Platform, and MRM, Marketing Resource Management, and the last one, PCM, Product Content Management. So DAM is used for managing the assets, and it has a DRM in place, and machine learning is also there to tag the assets. And CMP is used for planning and creating the content in using the workflows. So different stakeholders can use the CMP and create the content. And MRM is a marketing resource management. So using MRM, you can assign, you can create the projects and assign the budget, and you can assign different stakeholders, PMs, everyone can participate in that, and then they can create the content. And PCM is for managing the product data. So if you are having products in a different system, in case of e-commerce application, you can integrate that PIM or ERP to the PCM, and you can create the content in a better way by using the product details. And we have seen that Sitecore started providing two connectors for DAM and then for CMP to integrate with Sitecore Content Hub. And also we have seen a few more improvements, like identity service has been improved with the persistent storage of users. And we have seen that like Sitecore is going to track the telemetry metrics like product information and the features what have been implemented on the Sitecore application, so that they can get back. And with that, I have covered all the one which I have intended for. So now we can have any questions if we can.